Yes.
Hi, my name is Vanessa Marcano. I am an immigrant from Venezuela. I've been living in Des Moines for about a year and a little bit, like a year and 8 months. I'm here with an H-1B visa, which is a skilled worker visa, but it's taken a really long time for me to even have this visa. I've been trying to navigate through the system for about 17 years, and I'm still not even on a pathway to citizenship. I don't even have a green card. I'm still on a visa. And that is because my parents, I was lucky enough for my parents to really make super hard sacrifices for me to come to the US and study in university, pay thousands and thousands of dollars. And there's still nothing really. I mean, in 2015, my visa is going to be expired, and actually because Iowa will only give you either a 2-year license or a 5-year license, my license is going to expire.
What do you do?
I'm a community organizer here in Des Moines, and I'm trapped in the middle of the system, and I'm organizing with a community that is trapped in the middle of the system. And, you know, I've seen people who are undocumented, people who are documented, like me, people who are residents, and we're all in the middle of this broken system, and there is no really end in sight. So I guess my concrete question is, you know, after having seen the horrors of Postville, wonderful town in your old district, and then now being in the middle of this struggle that you were very aware of, will you? First of all, I want to know if you support a pathway to citizenship, and then second, I want to know if you will tell Representative Boehner to move immigration reform with a pathway to citizenship in the House.
Just so it's very clear, would you define what you mean by a pathway to citizenship? Exactly what steps are you talking about? How does this work?
I think that a pathway to citizenship should be a way for people who, for one reason or another, are here in the United States, either with documents or without documents, a way for them to acquire a path to get to be a citizen.
What is that path?
I think
For example,
the Senate bill was a start.
The Senate bill was a start. For example, it would
It's
give
not
them
perfect,
a
but it's a
status. It would give people who are undocumented a status to get on the track to citizenship. And people who are in various parts of the system, whether they're students, whether they're workers, whether they're guest workers, or they're undocumented, they have a way or a track that they could at least get on. And for example, the Senate bill would offer registered provisional status for people who are undocumented, and something for dreamers, something for ag workers, something for guest workers, which is why if we move this piece of legislation comprehensively, it would encompass all of us that are trapped in the system. That's what I mean for a pathway to citizenship.
So you would give immediate legal status?
What?
You would give immediate legal status?
Yes. And in the Senate bill, it's not an easy path. It gives people a status, at least some kind of documentation, so they can step by step become legal permanent residents or people who have a green card, and then eventually become citizens. And this pathway is about 13 years under the current Senate bill. So would you support a path to citizenship?
We are going to, like we talked about, take a step-by-step approach, and we've had this, and if you're not aware, I've met with all these folks in my office, invited them to a meeting there, and we've gone through all this before, but we are going to do a step-by-step approach. If we look back at what happened in 1986, if the laws that were passed then were actually enforced, we wouldn't have this problem today. What happened back then was that the status was given immediately, citizenship, amnesty, whatever you want to call it, and none of the rest of it was enforced.
This is not amnesty, what's currently being discussed though. I
I'm
just
just,
wanna
I'm
make that very.
telling you what happened back then.
Right, but it's not what's happening right now. It's over 25 years ago since that happened.
I'm just saying, we don't want to repeat the parts that did not work last time.
Okay.
And so we need to have actually real metrics in place so that we can secure the border. Certainly with the KIDS Act that Leader Cantor is talking about to address the young people who are here, no fault of their own, basically. I'm sworn to uphold the Constitution and the rule of law, and to have, I don't want anyone to step in front of the folks who are actually doing it in the proper manner today. And I'm just saying that I appreciate where you're coming from, but I'm just, it's going to be, that's why we need to have this conversation, to actually find a way that we can address the status issue. It's physically impossible to deport 11 million people. And whether you want to or not, it's physically impossible. We've got to find common ground someplace, and I would hope that we've had open dialogue, and I hope that continues on the issues. Yes. Way in the back.
On the line of upholding the Constitution and the two folks that spoke earlier, recently you had an opportunity to go ahead and vote against a provision in the Patriot Act that makes it allowable for the U.S. government to go ahead and legally get mass information from its citizenry. You voted against that amendment, which makes that legal. It was a 205 to 217 vote. Can you explain why you voted to allow the U.S. government to go ahead and do that mass gathering of information?
Well, there were actually two amendments, if you're aware. What I supported was that they could not collect any content. They could not listen to your telephone call, read your emails, and that passed with broad support. The amendment that you're talking about from Mr. Amash, I think from Michigan, basically violated the Constitution itself, in that it prescribed exactly what a court order had to have in it. The separation of powers, we cannot prescribe exactly what the word is in a warrant, and so it was on constitutional basis, I voted against that. We don't have we can't tell the judiciary exactly how to make their rulings. That's what he was doing. Yeah.